now apparently, according to this report, wants to go even farther. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about Donald Trump and his campaign?
Well, it tells me that he has a vision for how he's going to do things. He's not going to listen to the leadership of the Republican Party. But then again, that's the campaign that let him defeat 16 people in the primary and get to the point he is today as the nominee of the party.
Rick Tyler, you work for Ted Cruz. You know Ted Cruz well. He's one of those people who's not been out there so far publicly endorsing, publicly aligning with Donald Trump. Is he sitting back and saying, I made a smart move right now?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, look, Ted Cruz is going to endorse or not endorse. My suspicion is that he won't endorse. I think Donald Trump carried the campaign too far, attacking Ted Cruz. But Steve, this speaks to an underlying structural problem in the campaign. You can't have a campaign that relies on the facile utterances of the candidate from day to day. I get that the candidate is in charge of the campaign, but look at all the opportunities they're missing. You had the jobs report, you had the IG report, you could have had a whole comms team driving those messages, which the media is already reporting on, and expand on those messages instead of being on offense against Hillary Clinton in a dismal jobs report where only 38,000 jobs were created, or the IG report where the IG concluded that she had mishandled her email and classified information. Instead of talking that, we're talking about a judge that nobody cares about. And that is just a problem in the campaign, that the campaign seems to be in some sort of paralysis, that no one's able to act. Now, they did hire Jim Murphy. That's a good sign. But Jim has got to be able to operate the comms team and be able to control it and not be able to have everybody second guess him or veto him. He needs to get a comms team, because what do you do in the morning? You wake up and say, oh my God, this is going to be a jobs report. What are we going to say about it? Oh, I don't know. What about that judge in Indiana? I mean, this is not going well, and they've got to fix this fast.
It is, and Katie, you have some reporting on this, the state of the Trump campaign, the infrastructure or the lack of an infrastructure. I mean, Rick is outlining some practical things that could be different with more of an infrastructure in place. But at a certain point, if Donald Trump wants to go down this road, does it even matter what kind of infrastructure he has?
This far without having any infrastructure, and people do acknowledge that he has an unprecedented ability to drive a message, but going into the general election, as anybody will tell you, is much different than going up against his Republican primary rivals. Hillary Clinton has a machine behind her, and we saw this after her foreign policy speech, and we saw this when Donald Trump says something potentially that they can see to their advantage. They flood the zone when it comes to their talking points. Behind the scenes, as Rick was saying, and as my reporting flushes out, they don't have a communications team. They have Hope Hicks and they have Corey Lewandowski. That's their communications team right now. And oftentimes, the messages to surrogates can get very diluted. I'm told on the one hand that the RNC is giving talking points to surrogates, and we're told on the other hand by sources that the campaign is giving talking points to surrogates. Then I'm told by a third party that nobody's giving talking points to surrogates. There doesn't even seem to be, from all ends of this spectrum, a cohesive list as to who exactly their surrogates are. They don't have a cohesive message. And if you're going to believe this Bloomberg report that just came out, Donald Trump says he's going to try and get on the phone with his surrogates once a week. And in that report, he even said that he wants them to toss out whatever the campaign talking points they might have gotten, toss them out, throw them aside, instead start going after the judge in this Trump U case and going after the reporters, despite the fact that the talking point said to do the opposite.
All right, Katie Turk.
Yeah, and why would Trump do that? Because Trump doesn't want to pay any money. And having to pay out huge amounts of money is more important to Trump than being civil and winning the presidency of the United States. So like I said, Trump does not want to be president. There is nothing that you could say to me that will convince me of that.